Okay, so this is the class exercise number 3, part 3 or part C, however you want to call this. And this is a little bit more, adding more rigging and some movement in the background for this as well. So let me talk to you about what we just did here. Was that I want to pick the stork carrying the baby with it as well. So if you can click on the stork carrying the baby, and I'm going to show you, besides the rigging on this animation with it, so it looks like this background is scrolling from right to left, and it's animating, giving you the illusion that he's flying, carrying the baby with it, right? So that's what we're about to do right now with it. I want you to take the scroll bar, the timeline, all the way to the left, and make sure you are selecting is the stork, okay? Let's make sure you have that with it. So before we get started with it, because it's defaulted right where number 18 or 19, 20 in that range with it, but make sure you're working on is timeline is 1 on the frame 1 with this. I want to click on next. So this is what it looks like with it, right here with it. So we're going to actually use the asset warp tool with this. All right, click on it. And I want to come to the base of the neck. Usually for center of gravity, that's a key thing. When you're animating either a human being or anything with it, you have to find where the center of gravity is. For human, it's usually between your collarbone, right here. We call this right here is right next between the clavicle with it as well. So that's usually the center of gravity for pivoting point for a lot of things with it. I'm just, for this particular stork, I assume it's going to be the same, somewhat same skeleton that you have. Is going to be very base of the neck, right about right here with it. So I want to click on the base of the neck, and you notice it breaks it up into polygons with it as well. Each one of these are polygons with it. I'm going to come back up to the head, right behind the eye. Click off of it to deselect it. Go back, click on it again. Go down, select the beak, click off of it, deselect it, click back at the end of that, come down and center the right where the baby, it's the center with it, right? Click off of it, that deselects it, come back to your base of your rectangle with it, click on that, and you can come and do one like this, click off of it, come back, click on that base and draw it up to the wing part with it as well. So click off of it, make sure you deselect it, or else you're going to be a mess here. Click at the pivoting point with it there, click off of it, come back, and then you do this part of the wing, or however you want. I don't care. This is like the second feather that I would do here with it as well. So click off of it, center of mass, and I'm going to draw it to his one of his legs. Click off of it, center of mass with it. So you have is basically again those kind of like hinges, and the center of mass where this groups, the square right here groups all of the skeleton movement in this right now with it. All right, I'm going to click on next on this one, and then you're going to go to frame, the last frame for this, which is frame number 30 with it, and you're going to insert it in a keyframe, right? So you can right mouse click on it, insert keyframe. So make sure you're in the stork, frame 30, which tells you right here, right? I'm going to click on next, and then we're going to actually come over to about frame 15 right here with it. And we're going to modify this, what the video is kind of showing to you with as well. And we're going to have just like an asset warp tool. So click on frame 15. Don't add anything yet with it, right? So click on frame 15 of your stork right here. And then we're going to actually go in and we're going to move some movement in this, in the wings and this polygon shape with it. So I want to take this, I'm going to just bend it like this. See? And then I want to move this wing like it's flying, like this, right? And let me take it to one of its legs, kind of bend it like this, and kind of move it down this as well, right? A little bit about his head. When if you think about the movement of a bird, when it flaps its wing, what's it doing? It's pushing its head forward, right? So right now its head is curvature, right? So you need to straighten out its head, right? So I'm going to take this right here, I'm going to straighten its head like this, right? With it. So when he straightens his head, what does it do? It swings this baby, because remember now this is a pivoting point right here. So this baby is going to be swung like this, a little bit with it. Just a little bit of movement. Not too much, okay? Just kind of a very subtle movement. That's all you're doing with it as well. So when he's swinging, you know, birds are like they're flapping their wings. Remember now, like our shoulders. If you notice how weightlifters they do their upper body strength with it on weights with it, they push up and their head is pronatal. They're pushing it up with it as well. Same thing as birds. You know, we're going to straighten out his head with it, right? So. So that's what you want to do with this right now. So click on next, and we're going to go in the first span. This is the first span right here. Anywhere in the first span, I'm going to click on frame 8. I'm going to hold down the shift, okay, selected, and I want to go to the second frame, holding down my shift. So it selects frame 8 to frame 21, for example. I want to insert, right mouse click, insert classic tween with it. So it looks like this right now, okay? So it looks very solid. Make sure you have a solid line, black solid line like I do with it as well, right? So, and then you click on next. Now, we need to animate the background for this thing, right? So we're done with the stork right now. We need to lock it. Make sure you click on this lock right here that locks it. And I need for you to unlock, meaning just clicking on this padlock right here, that's going to turn it off with it, right? And make sure you are on the first frame right here. This is the first frame, and make sure it's unlocked right now with it, right? And we need to expand to see everything in here with it. So let me come over here. So we need to come up to the top right here where it says 100 and do a pull down on that. And do you see where it says show all? So click on that. All right. As you can see, let me zoom out in this thing. Let me get this thing center right here a little bit with it. So if you notice this black line right here, this is what's in the picture frame. So show all meaning this is the entire canvas right here. That's what you're looking at, right? So make sure you got your selection tool with this. So so once we have back out, you can make sure you select, you know, show all, and it shows this is kind of like the whole background scene with it. Basically, all you do is this, and you replicate the scene on the next. This is stitched together with it as well. So we're gonna come over and we're gonna select the selection tool. Make sure you select the selection tool. Click on the last frame for me. All right. Click on this last frame. You're going to do this on the last frame right here with it, right? So in the last frame with it, click on the last frame and make sure you have the selection tool. Do you have that? Make sure your screen looks like mine right now. And we're going to come in here right now, and if you can click on insert keyframe right here. All right. So in here, this is what you're going to do. So you're going to actually make sure you click on this black arrow, you're going to drag this image to the left, like that, and let go, okay? So that's what it looks like right now with it. Next, we need to come down here somewhere in the middle, any frame. I want to pick like frame 16, right mouse click on it, insert classic tween, and it should have a solid line like what we're having right here with it. So let me show you. I want to click on this next one, is this test movie. Click on it, and you can see how this bird has the background. See that? Yes? Okay. Let me close that for a second with it. Now, again, all three of these, what you need to do is to publish this, is to come down and it shows you what to do to publish. I would like for you to save it as a .gif on this thing. Save it all as .gif for me, okay? With it, don't export it as a movie. The file's gonna be really large with it unless you upload it to YouTube, and then you put the link on the assignment with it. But here's what we do with it. So I'm going to click on next. It just shows you how to export the movies with it as well, and with it. So if you come up here to the top with it where the files are, and you can do an export right here, and you see where it says export animated GIF. Give it a second. Processing with it. So this is the window that you have right now with it. That's fine with it. And then you come over here and you click on save for me, alright? And call this, store_baby1. Alright. So this is what it looks like. So you're gonna put this animated GIF inside of your HTML document. I'm gonna show you for the class project. So you're gonna do 3. You're welcome to do more if you want. It's up to you. It's a flavor. We have a whole course in this, a basic animation. It goes back to storyboarding. You have to have a good story, and then you draw it up pencil and paper, and then you animate. You put it together with it as well. All right. This concludes the video for class exercise number 3, part 3. All right, or part C, whatever you want to call this. Thank you.